Just wanted to do a overview of my hi-fi setup here. Let's see. So pretty much all this stuff is stuff that I either got out of the trash or for free, or I got it at a thrift store. So it's not very good stuff, but it sounds alright. Probably sounds better, than a lot of stuff. So, I know people that the main form of the way they listen to music is they listen to it through their phone speaker, so it should sound better than that at least, I think. So for my speakers, got two Bic Venturi Formula 4s. So I don't even know what vintage these are, but I got them for free, so. And it's not like they're that expensive. You could probably pick up a pair of these for $100 now. But, does this sound okay? They sound better if you're in a bigger room and you can stand farther away from them. But I usually just sit next to them, so. And then this receiver is really like a home theater receiver. It wasn't in our house and we never used it. It's probably early 2000s vintage, so it doesn't have like HDMI. It only does composite and component video, and does do digital video. I don't know what resolution that sports or have any computers that output that, but it's pretty cool. It does surround and stereo, so you can use it as a stereo receiver. Like, you can even have, this is like what speaker they came with. So you could have these hooked up and these hooked up at the same time and switch between them. So I do want to get a new receiver that's just an audio and has a phono preamp for putting in a turntable, but I'll keep this when I get a new one though, because it's still pretty good, and it also does digital inputs. So a lot of new receivers don't even have that, which in my opinion is a good thing to have, especially the optical input, just because a lot of stuff has had that. So even though this is an older receiver, I can still hook it up to like any new stuff that has the optical. That's why it kind of stinks that a lot of stuff is finally getting rid of it. Like I think some of the newer hardware revisions of like the PlayStation 4 don't have it, which kind of stinks, but it doesn't matter. So it's pretty good. I also have the remote for it, so I always like to have the remote. I see a lot of audio gear at thrift stores and stuff, but they never have the remote with them, so I always generally pass on them. But I did finally find this Technics CD player, and it had the remote with it, and it had the owner's manual with it. So, and it all works. I tested it. It switches through all the CDs and stuff. I can tell it kind of needs some. I need to take it apart and just put some grease on all the moving parts. So, but it all works. It's not plugged in, but it's nice to be able to play CDs. I still have a bunch laying around, so. And I finally got this. I can never find a good uh, cassette deck, so I finally just bought one. But it wasn't too bad. I think I went around on eBay and just threw out disgustingly lowball offers on stuff. Like, you can offer the money, they'll be like, they want $120, and I'll say I'll give you $30. So usually they turn those down, but I don't know, they just said yes. So this isn't that good of a deck. It probably only costs $60, but I think I only paid 30 for it. So, and it's a good one. It's a good one, pretty good one. Not the best you can get, but definitely far from the worst. So, and it does everything I need. So it has plays all the different kind of tapes, plus has Dolby, but and it has no auto reverse, which is actually a good thing these days because those mechanisms, I mean, they all pretty much got worn out, and they every time they flip the heads, they don't get realigned perfectly every time. So it's nice just to have one that doesn't do that. So, but it's pretty good. Um, so I mean, it sounds okay. I haven't taken it apart or anything and looked at the belts. It doesn't sound like the sound is or the speed is wavering at all. But I'll probably take it apart and see what the belts look like and order some new ones if they look bad. But so it's not so bad. The only fortunate part is it's hard to find good cassettes these days. I think pretty much anyone, you know, if they were kept most of them, I guess, if you were really into cassettes. But sometimes I go look at the thrift stores and they have everything good. I mean, it's definitely easy to find them on eBay. You can get any ones you want, but it's a hassle to go and buy stuff. I just like to find them, but the only I don't have hardly any. I only found a couple good ones. Let's see, I've got Chicago's Greatest Hits, 82 to 89, so pretty much nothing good. The only song I even know on this is the one that's like everybody needs a little time away for the day. That's the only song on this one I recognize. So, and then I got this just because it seemed interesting, but it turns out it's just string music, Christmas string music. But it had an interesting title, so I got it. It's What If Mozart Wrote I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus by the Hampton String Quartet. And it's just string Christmas music. It's not very interesting. This cassette does sound really good though. It was well mastered. And it's on a chrome tape, so it does sound really good. It's just not very interesting. And then the only most contemporary I have is this Cranberries album. So it's got some songs I recognize on it. Like the only songs I recognize were Dreams and Linger. I think those were pretty popular when this was out. So it was $1. Then I have just a blank cassette. I got this for $2. I think they just had unopened one at Half Price Books. So I was like, hey, pick it up. But you can still buy these new. If you buy enough of them, you can probably get them for $1 a piece on eBay. And then I did get a metal cassette. It's a TDK. So these are actually pretty hard to find these days. They don't make them anymore, and they never sold that well. I mean, if you count for inflation, these probably costed like $15, or in today's money, they cost that much. So I got this for $10, so that's a pretty good deal. If you get on eBay and you kind of wait and try and find a good deal, you find them. But I like this one. It's 55 minutes per side, so you can fit most albums on one side. So you can get 2 albums, but that's pretty much it. My speakers generally just get filled with junk. All my stuff, like this, I just clean the heads in this. So, and then my duster. And then for my turntable, I don't have a place to set it yet. I need to get like a rack to set all my stuff on, so I can put this on top. But it's just a not a super high end turntable, but not a junky one either. So I think I did buy this one new. It was probably like $200, but it's a pretty good one. It's a Denon. It's got a really good tone arm on it, and it just came with a basic cartridge on it. But I'll probably get something new and put it on there. And it does have start and stop automatic, which is nice. Not a lot many turntables have that anymore, except for just the cheap ones. But you hit start, it'll start, and then it'll automatically lift the tone arm up and put it back down at the end, or you can just hit stop and it'll stop. But you can just manually cue it up if you want though still. So but it's pretty good. Usually I did have to adjust the speed a little bit. That's kind of par for the course with stuff in this price range that doesn't have either like a direct drive or some kind of quartz lock. But it was slightly fast, so I printed off one of these discs that has the strobe, and then you have to get a really tiny screwdriver, and then I propped it up on DVDs so it was above the table so I could reach under it with a screwdriver. So it's perfectly speed now on 33 and 45. I adjusted both. Even though I don't have many 45s. So, I mean, this sounds pretty good in my opinion. Honestly, it sounds as good as playing music off the computer in my opinion. I mean, I can tell they sound different, but like not worse or better. So, not so bad. Got my computer down here. I don't have a way to interface it with this yet. Probably get some kind of USB sound card that's got. I've seen some they've got the RCA, just the stereos on them. So once I get one of those up, then I can hook it up to this. But right now, if I want to play music off my phone or something, I've got this cable that I just in normal RCA's that I have this adapter. So that's how I can get if I want to hook up my computer right now or a phone. So not so bad, not so bad. Probably end up upgrading some stuff at some point. Like these speakers are pretty good, but I might upgrade to some ELACs or something. Especially that are smaller. These take up a lot of space, but at my turntable, this is pretty good. I've always wanted the classic Technics turntable because they made really good ones. Like the SL1200, that's the classic turntable. Especially the ones that all the DJs used. Like I have that Audio Technica turntable that's essentially just a clone of the Technics, but it's not as good. Especially when everybody rips out the preamp in them. And they never had any anti-skating until 2017. But you can fix them if you have one. You have to order this new spring and completely take it apart. But this one's not so bad. It does have a built-in preamp, but you can turn it off. So, not so bad, not so bad.